set an end in sight.
All right, welcome. There we go. Welcome. Y'all should come to church with me. That was more reverent than most of my Sunday sacrament meetings and quieter. I'd like to welcome you all to the Board of Commissioners meeting. We will excuse Victor Iverson, who's not feeling well and is recovering, and we'll move on. We're going to start with an invocation by Larry Shurtleff from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and part of our Interfaith Council. Larry?
For the opportunity we have to be here today, we're grateful for the beauty that we've experienced this day. We are grateful for where we live, especially in Washington County. And Heavenly Father, we would ask a blessing to be upon our commissioners and those that are in charge of making decisions, that they might be inspired and that they might listen and they might weigh things over and do what's best for the county. We're grateful for the moisture that we've received in our county recently and realize this is a wonderful blessing to those that need this rain for their livelihood, for ranchers and farmers and those that are agricultural in nature. Heavenly Father, we would ask if it be thy will that we might be able to receive the necessary rainfall that we need. We're grateful for the opportunity we have to be rubbing shoulders one with another and help us that we might be able to talk and do those things that we need to, and that we might be able to do things peaceable and listen to one another. And these favors and blessings we ask for and do so in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
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 Thank you, Larry. Next, I have a Pledge of Allegiance led by two from our junior ROTC, June Leah Leoloto and Ali Black. Thank you, ladies, for coming. First item on the agenda is the consent agenda, which is a means of expediting the consideration of routine matters. If a commissioner requests that items be removed from the consent agenda, those items are placed at the beginning of the regular agenda. Other than a request to remove items, a motion to approve the items on the consent agenda is not debatable.
Mr. Chair, my motion for the consent agenda is as follows. Item A, consideration of auditor-approved claims for payment for August 20th, 2025 through September 2nd, 2025. Item B, consideration of commission meeting minutes of August 19th, 2025. Item C, consideration of administrative adjustments for real property. Item D, administrative adjustments for personal property. Item E, consideration of surplus of vehicles. Item F, consideration of removal of Huntsman Senior Games license agreement for parking renewal, not removal, renewal, that would get them started, for license agreements for parking garage use. And finally, item G, consideration of 5 County Association of Governments Contract Amendment 1 with Washington County Council on Aging. That's my motion.
And I'll second the motion. Motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Now move to our regular agenda.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to move that item 4 be tabled from the agenda for this day.
I'll second the table of agenda item 4. Agenda item 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 will then move up one. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Item is tabled. Item number 1 is a presentation recognizing Jana Mock from the County Attorney's Office. It's been a little while that Jana got to work here. Jana has been an institution at the County Attorney's Office, so we'll invite our new county attorney, Jerry Jager, up to tell us all the wonderful things about Jana.
For now, you can stay there.
So first of all, Jana, we sure miss you. And it actually took 2 employees to even try to replace you, but no one can replace you. One of those employees is our new administrative lead, Jim Lee, and so I'm sure he'll be talking to you here soon, trying to figure out everything that you need to do to try to run the office. So back in 1999, when I first started, Jana was one of the first employees that I met. And I knew at that time that you were the one that really ran the office. And you have run that office, and you have served the community of Washington County very well for the last nearly 40 years. And so we sure appreciate that. Now we recognize you've moved on to bigger and better things, we need grandchildren, and we're all jealous. But we wanted to leave with you a few items that you can remember us by. So first of all, so Jana was the Rolodex queen. And so we have to leave her an actual Rolodex. So here we go. If you don't know what a Rolodex is, which is probably half of you here, you need to talk to Jana, but Jana's the one that kept us all organized and made sure that we knew what we needed to do with each of our cases. Jana also is the one that always brings us bagels. Well, I was going to bring a bunch of bagels, but instead I brought just a bagel cutter. But we sure miss your bagels. Jana would bring us bagels about once a week. Jana's also one of the most luckiest people I know. So we have here a flag that you can fly to hopefully help continue with your luck. And then finally, of course, we have a gift card so that you can go out and have steak with you and your husband and think about us. But most importantly, we just want you to know how much we appreciate you and your service to Washington County Attorney's Office and to the full community. Really good.
Jana, do you want to come up and tell us, 39 and a half years, that is a long time. Anything you'd like to tell, your favorite moment of working for almost 4 decades at the county attorney's office?
Come on
You
up.
want to come up to the mic and tell us something? We can't order you to, I can't order you to, but I'm going to kind of. Closer to the mic. I can hear you.
Which way?
You just speak into the mic. So either way, either way. That's awesome. Thank you very much. We have a little plaque for you, Jerry, and come on up. Is Brock here? Oh, Brock there. Brock Bellman, come on up. You were county attorney for long enough. We'll have you come join us.
Clark.
This is just a recognition award presented to Jana Moss for 39 and a half years of dedicated service as a legal assistant with Washington County Attorney's Office. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The entire county attorney's office is welcome to stay if you'd like, but,
It gets
and there goes our whole audience. yeah.
Oh, they're leaving. Thank you for coming.
All right. Item number 2 is the consideration of proclamation number 2025-44, a proclamation declaring the week of September 17th as Constitution Week. To speak to that, we have Karen Schuman. No, is it valid? Sorry, Laura? All right, Laura, we'll have you speak to it. Never mind, that's the name I had on here, but.
Good afternoon. My name is Laura Miller, and I'm the regent of the Color Country Chapter Daughters of the American Revolution, and then we brought some of the other members. And we have a member of the Sons of the American Revolution. I invite him up here, Steve Sorensen. He's their president. It was 238 years ago at 4 p.m., September 17th, 1787, our Constitution was signed in the Pennsylvania State House, which is now known as Independence Hall. It was signed by 39 of 55 delegates at the Constitutional Convention. Some refused to sign due to a lack of Bill of Rights, which would be ratified 4 years later. The Constitution set forth fundamental laws and principles that would govern all American citizens in the new nation and limit the power of government with a system of checks and balances. With the passage of time, the Daughters of the American Revolution became acutely aware that the significance of these bold steps taken on that important day was beginning to wane. They petitioned Congress with a resolution to set aside September 17th through 23rd each year to observe and commemorate the adoption of the U.S. Constitution. That resolution became public law number 915, signed by Dwight D. Eisenhower on August 2nd, 1955. On behalf of the Color Country Chapter, National Society, Daughters of the American Revolution, we wish to thank the Washington County Commissioners for issuing this proclamation and continuing the tradition in our county of celebrating and honoring this very important anniversary in our nation's history. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love that we get to do this. I mean, we've done this before. We did the reading of the Constitution. I need to silence my phone. I love this, and what a great way to commemorate such a holy document, in my opinion. So, yeah.
What level of, when we're reading, of course, you've got all these organizations coming, mostly schools, right? Mm-hmm. How's the reception been from principals to teachers to students?
I would say wonderful, don't you? This is
Valerie,
Valerie
you got a
King.
big
She's the
thumb up.
organizer. Do you want to talk more about it?
This is our third annual, as you know, and in the first year, we kind of had to talk people into it, but this year, it's A-okay.
Good.
I think they're anxious to come.
Good.
Well, we look forward to it. Also, we're all taking part at one point or another. And we'll get our parts, I'm sure.
Very soon.
Yeah, and love the effort, because I don't know if it's duplicated with as much passion as our local chapters have to get it done and in such a public way. Hopefully every home. I was lucky yesterday morning to be out at Liberty Village and placing the 13 trees that represent colonies around the where the bell will be, and the cupola and all of that. And it was such a pretty, very meaningful morning, and I hope thousands upon thousands will experience that also. And part of these reads are to encourage them to expand their knowledge.
Yeah. It's, for anybody who hasn't seen it, they transformed this room. We've got it. It's packed with kids and teachers and adults and police officers and firefighters and then the three of us. And It's really cool. And the kids get a little nervous at the beginning. They're kind of reading over their part, and you can see them mouthing, and they get, but then they step up to the mic and they deliver it, and it's, yeah, the teleprompter's behind them there. They can read it off the teleprompter, but it's a great way to honor the Constitution, to make sure that, reading it is important. Remember what's in it. So people cite it a lot, and they cite it incorrectly. Well, that's not in the Constitution. Well, you're right. Read the 10th Amendment too. So it's a great thing. So I would move that we adopt and pass Proclamation 2025-44, declaring the week of September 17th again as Constitution Week.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you. Sure,
Of course.
yeah.
All right, item number, while Gil makes his way back up, item number 3 is consideration of purchase requests. Alfred from the County Clerk's Office.
Going. I got a few more than last time. First two are going to be from the roads department. The first one is the for dyed-up road fuel for their equipment for $30,529.35. The second one is for a grading project in Pine Valley, and that estimates to $15,660. These next three are going to be from the sheriff's office. The first one is going to be for an ammunition resupply for $17,000, $17,705.80. The next item is going to be for a truck for their drug court. Going to be for $51,991. And then the last item for the purchase orders is for a mobile command unit. This one is totaling for $731,920.54. $575,000 of that is going to be covered through a grant, leaving the remaining $156,920.54 through the county.
Wow, great. All of those items, with the exception of a few, have already run through our budget, and others are planned through, like you said, grants, and then some other budgeted adjustments. But having said that, I move that we approve the the purchase request as Alfred has explained to us.
Second. Motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you, Alfred. We've tabled number 4, so the new number 4 is consideration of resolution R 2025-3584, ratifying the approval of an ordering document securing the county a no-cost upgrade to the county's enterprise resource planning software by Oracle. Our esteemed, Right Honorable County Clerk Auditor Ryan Sullivan.
Oh, thank you. So we recently went to a new ERP system that does our accounts payable, all our accounting functions. Part of that purchase included a budget module, which we haven't rolled out yet, but they've since come up with a newer module that has more features that they offer to let us go to it at no cost. So the attorneys have reviewed it, and we reviewed it, and we've seen the software, so we're excited to move towards it when it gets to be that time. We've, as you know, had some challenges with rolling out the accounting software. We actually had a meeting today that we're hoping with the changes that we make later this month that we will have some really good reports to send out to the departments like they're used to seeing. And then we would start working on rolling out this budget module, but it probably won't take effect until 2027 actually, because we're kind of in the thick of our budget right now, and I don't really feel like learning a new system at this point. We'll wait till next year.
Okay. Makes sense. Appreciate the efforts to modernize and try and make things better, more accurate, more transparent for all of our citizens, and that matters. I will move that we approve Resolution R 2025-3584 as titled.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Item number 5 is consideration of resolution number R 2025-3585, a resolution approving an adjustment of 2025 property taxes for certain parcels owned by Rural Housing Development Corporation doing business as Self-Help Homes. Devin.
Thanks, Commissioners. You've seen this item before. You approved this item a couple weeks ago in your last meeting. This is here again because the Exhibit A attachment had some dated tax information. This resolution would fix those errors. It has updated tax information. This resolution would reduce the property taxes to 0 on those parcels noted in that Exhibit A for self-help homes.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I move then on item 6 that we approve resolution number R 2025-3585, a resolution approving an adjustment of 2025 property taxes for certain parcels owned by Rural Housing Development Corporation, DBA Self-Help Homes.
Second. Motion is second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Item number 6 is consideration of resolution R 2025-3586, resolution approving an agreement between Washington County and Horrocks LLC for the Topaz Wash feasibility study. Todd Edwards.
Controlled very well right now. So this feasibility study will look at several different options for us to the best cost-benefit way to handle this water. Presently, it runs down through the back of a couple of dozen lots, and it has flooded several times since the time I've been employed with the county. So we're looking to handle it better. At one time, there was a pond on it that controlled a lot of it, but it was on private property and it's since been breached. So we think if we could rebuild the pond on Sittler property, it could benefit both their land as well as the land downstream. So we're looking for a $20,000 contract with Horrocks to do that.
Mr. Chair, a question of Todd.
Mm-hmm.
We have a countywide flood mitigation tax. Does any of this qualify for that?
The one that you're referring to, I believe, is the one that's just for Washington, Santa Clara, and St. George. It's the Flood Control Authority.
Yeah.
And it has to be spent in a way that benefits at least 2 of those entities. This is an isolated area that really doesn't fall into that category, so we can't use that funding. We would use our own drainage funding for this study.
Sure.
I would like to know
part of
that
the study would be to, part of the study would be to find funding to actually build it also.
Okay.
That's what we're looking for.
I do live in the area. My home is not impacted. I sit differently from this. This doesn't benefit me at all. But I have been there. You're right on the issue, because I've been there with tractors and sandbags trying to help control when that water comes down that canyon. It comes down really quickly, and it does impact dozens of homes.
It does.
Whoever drew the ditch really wanted to maximize the number of homes that could be flooded
Exactly.
if water came down. So
Yeah, it goes down the back lot lines for the most part, which is not the best place to have uncontrolled water. That's
it's kind of hard to get to with a tractor, especially. I know
Yeah.
from experience.
And everybody fills it in and encroaches on it. You just don't see it because it's back behind property.
Yeah.
Very good.
I move that we approve Resolution R 2025-3586, approving an agreement between Washington County and Horrocks for the Topaz Wash feasibility study.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Item number 7 is consideration of resolution number R 2025-3587, a resolution in opposition to Zion National Park's proposed visitor use management plan. Keith Hansen.
Well, Commissioners, as you are keenly aware, Zion National Park has been involved in a visitor use management planning process since 2016. At that time, they first proposed a reservation system as the primary means of managing visitation at Zion National Park. Even then, Washington County and the state of Utah expressed deep concerns with the prospect of a reservation system, the impacts it could have on our local economy, and just the restriction of keeping Americans and locals here out of Zion National Park. Zion has continued to plan and work on this visitor use management plan, and apparently they are continuing to move forward with a reservation system. Over those 9 years since they started this process, Washington County, the state of Utah, many other stakeholders have come to the table and have proposed alternative ways of managing visitation at Zion. The state of Utah has allocated tens of millions of dollars. Washington County has allocated resources, countless hours, to help Zion National Park solve its problems without resorting to a reservation system. Despite all of our efforts, Zion continues to move towards a reservation system. So this resolution would affirm Washington County's opposition to a reservation system at Zion National Park.
Okay. I'm going to, go ahead.
I'd like to hear your comments, of course, Chair, but my feelings are that having experienced the reservation system personally on a recent trip, I don't think that it is meeting what the citizens who own these parks expect. And they can make their own decisions on whether something is too busy or too crowded or it's just right. And I kind of feel like their efforts have a hidden agenda, which simply means excluding citizens. And so thank you for this opposition letter because, well, proclamation, a resolution rather, that drives at the heart of the fact that this is an economic driver not only for us, but our region. And when you look at Fife County, they couldn't applaud this higher, our neighboring counties, because they're affected from what happens here as well. So we have members of Congress represented here and senators, and they really need to know details which locally they are so efficient at getting to them. But once it gets to Washington, D.C., the Department of Interior and others need to know that these plans are proceeding right under their noses and that they're not going to achieve anything that is good for the U.S. citizen. I'm not grandstanding here. I'm just very frustrated, having experienced it myself. That truly means nothing. And having just 5 days ago been at Rainbow Bridge, completely shut down, one of the 10 natural wonders of the world, and they have chosen to just plain old not man it at all. It's all winterized. You have to swim from the docks to the trailhead, and there wasn't a soul there. And I can't help but think in the back of my mind how many businesses in Page or locally are affected by the fact that they just don't manage this system well. And in fact, when you go in, you normally have to have this check-in, which is show your ID, give up your firstborn child, you know, pay for the boat, pay for the car, pay how many days you're going to be here, display this, all of that sort of a check-in, pay, entry fee. Not a reservation system, but a pay, right? And there wasn't a soul there either. Everyone just driving through. And when I went down to the dock, where luckily they're checking boats coming out for the Coaga mussel, or zebra mussel, either one, I said, you know, we had nothing to display in our car. And they said, oh, we haven't had people up there for weeks and weeks. I said, well, how broken is that? Their volume use management plan at Lake Powell obviously is come and go as you want, because the lake level and things shut down. Dangling rope, they promised they would reopen. That hasn't been open for 4 years. Has nothing to do with lake level. They could still man that, they just don't want to.
Yeah, so as far as Zion and Heath, I'm not speaking to you on this one because you deal with this every single day. Everybody's job in Washington County is somehow tied to Zion National Park. They bring about 1/10 of our economy is generated from first time spending at Zion. So many people come here, they have then bought homes, and you know, whether it's your construction industry or if you're an accountant, somehow your job is tied to Zion National Park. The people that come here that service them, you may not have anything to do with them directly, but you do indirectly. And I'm just going to reiterate your point. We acknowledge, Washington County acknowledges, the state of Utah acknowledges, our federal partners, the delegation, not the federal partners, the federal delegation acknowledges that there are times, critical days, Memorial Day, others, that visitation needs to be managed better. And the state and the county have put up tens of millions of dollars direct spending to the park to help them address with a scalpel, and they have just, you know, rather than a sledgehammer, and they have just said no, as you already stated, Heath, that we're not going to move off of. We've got one laser focus on, that's on closing the gate that would impact our economy here locally for sure, but as Commissioner Almquist just said, it is devastating to the rest of the southern half of this state, because if they don't come to Zion, they don't go to the other national parks, and it's a big issue. But more so than the economy is that the citizens of America own this park, and it seems like the Park Service, and as we know from a recent call with them, they deny it, but they seem laser focused on only one half of the mission that Congress established in these parks, which is future preservation, but not current enjoyment. They're easy to sell out current enjoyment to make sure that we have future preservation. And they, you know, we don't need to get into all of the details right now because you could write a book on this, but it's just been appalling how often we've presented other alternatives that are viable, that we've promised additional money from the state, from the feds, from us, and they just continue to say, no, this is the only plan that we have, is to just close the gate for many, many people and just not let them enjoy it. And for the local citizens as well, they should know that some people, they say, oh, good, a reservation at Zion, maybe I can finally get in. No, there's no local pass to a national park. It's owned by the citizens of all of America, not just us. And so if you think it's sometimes hard to get in or sometimes enjoy the places that you want to enjoy right now, good luck if they shut it by a third, or a quarter, right? Because that you'll just have that much harder time getting in. But there are solutions that have been presented. We've partnered with experts at Utah State Parks, which is completely self-sufficient financially, and doesn't have the resources of a national park, right? We've partnered with them, with so many different experts, brought forward solutions, and they've said, no, we're going to stick with this. And so, unfortunately, this is necessary. Luckily, our federal delegation is well informed on all this, both as an appropriator with Congresswoman Malloy, Senate E&R Chair, Senator Lee. And the park has forced our hands. We didn't want to get to this point. We try and partner with them rather than just be in opposition. They don't take our partnership on this issue. So, with that, I will both happily and regrettably move that we approve Resolution R 2025-3587, a resolution in opposition to Zion National Park's proposed visitor use management plan.
Second twice.
Motion is second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much, Heath. Our last item is consideration of Resolution R 2025-3588, a resolution approving the execution of a federal aid agreement between the Utah Department of Transportation and Washington County for a feasibility study of the Virgin River Path from Sunrise Valley Park to Grandpa's Pond project. Leslie.
So these are funds that were awarded to us through the MPO to do a feasibility study and concept development on what it would take to connect trail along the Virgin River from where it currently ends in Washington City's right near their Sunrise Valley Park, and getting it to Grandpa's Pond where Hurricane 600 North Trail would pick up from and take it to Confluence Park.
Okay.
Well, no doubt needed as we try to work alternative modes of transportation and people take advantage of these trails all the time. It's the connectivity that's always, the issue. I mean,
Yeah.
The Golden Spike was a connectivity issue, right?
Connectivity issue, yep.
The Eisenhower freeway system, connectivity. We're just transferring that to our need for these trails to connect, get people where they want to go. So
This fills the few remaining gaps, at least in planned trails, between St. George and Zion. So we want to see how it would work.
great. Well, thank you, Leslie, for your work. I move that we approve resolution number R 2025-3588, a resolution approving the execution of a federal aid agreement between the Utah Department of Transportation and Washington County for a feasibility study of the Virgin River Path from Sunrise Valley Park to Grandpa's Pond project.
Second. Motion is second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you, Leslie. With that,
Thank
we are
you.
adjourned. 36 minutes. Take that, Victor.
We could have cut it to 31, but I was verbose, but we had to say
We just couldn't make Victor feel that bad.